we're going to put the final bow on the 2025 season by taking a look at the award winners. I wish MLB The Show would actually have the awards show up in November to start the off season as opposed to having them right after the regular season ends, because that's not even how they're all voted. But the game is how the game is. It's whatever. Shohei Ohtani continues to show that he is the absolute best player in baseball, leading baseball in home runs with 59 and RBI 137. Did not win the batting title, as you can see. Marcell Ozuna with a 290 average, but we're talking Shohei right this minute. Still the best player in baseball, without a shadow of a doubt. Pitching might not show that, only 50 walks per nine, but again, another great season, topping his 59 from last year. Couldn't get back into the 50-50 club. Does get into the 40-40 club for the second straight year, the only player in MLB to do that. In the American League, Brent Rooker won the MVP. Brent Rooker. And I really feel like this is only because Aaron Judge got hurt. And I know I sound salty as hell saying that, but I mean that. Judge got hurt with about 6 weeks left in the season. You didn't even see him in the playoffs, unfortunately. He should be healthy by, say, Thanksgiving. As he's, at this point, we're already out of the postseason. He should be fine, really. Probably just going to rest the body up, go chill with his wife and his new kid. Nonetheless, we need to clap for Mike Trout. Back to MVP caliber play, 270 average, 40 home runs, 95 RBI for an Angels team that really just wasn't that good, which really shouldn't be a surprise anymore at this point. I don't think there's any word that he still wants to get traded. This man is loyal all the way to the end, but it is good to see him with another 40 home run season, first time since 2022, and if you 162 the 2020 year, he actually had like 50, but hey, he only played 60 that year, so it is what it is. American League Cy Young, Tariq Skubal, back-to-back years, and he is in a contract year, but he has arbitration. Word is, Tariq Skubal wants the bag, and I don't think Detroit has much of an option at this point. The Tigers did finish just above 500 at 82 and 80. They did miss the postseason, but if they're this close from making the postseason, only 5 games out behind the Royals, who won the division, I think Detroit would be kind of stupid not to re-sign him and really just extend him. The going rate is he's probably going to get on the open market, if he were a free agent this year, about $30 to $35 million a year. The question is length. At the age of 28, how long do you really want to extend him? Are you going to give him a contract through age 35? Are you going to give him options and shorten it? Or are you going to give him a long-term deal, which a lot of pitchers don't seem to get if you aren't under the age of 26 or so? And that phenom type player, but two-time AL Cy Young Award winner, might have something to say about that and say, we reset in the market and we'll see how things play out. Maybe he just accepts arbitration to give the Tigers a little bit of room to make some moves, or ask for the bag and still tell this team to make some moves. Clap for Max Fried, though. Third in Cy Young. He has been absolutely a workhorse and worth every single penny that we paid him in the 2025 season. And we do get Garrett Cole back. Hopefully we have a 3-headed monster. Hell, we might have 4 damn good starting pitchers, but we'll worry about that when we get to spring. In the National League, Shohei Ohtani. What more is there to say? 14 and 4. Finally gets that elusive Cy Young that he missed, say about 4 or 5 years ago at this point, when he got hurt again in the middle of the year and didn't pitch. 207 strikeouts. I honestly thought that Corbin Burns should have won this one, but I don't know what the show's logic is with this. Ohtani does have more strikeouts. Obviously, wins are not considered a pitcher stat. It is more of the team that gets you the run support, and you just happen to be the beneficiary of it. But I still think Corbin Burns should have won. But MLB The Show does not allow us to override award winners, unlike NBA 2K. I do like that 2K allows us to do that. Tyler Glasnow, his Dodger teammate, finishes third. The Dodgers ended up losing in the National League Championship Series. Batting title goes to Mookie Betts. It's time to put Mookie Betts as a Hall of Famer. I kind of thought of this beforehand. He didn't need to win the ring in 2024, but his versatility as a player should definitely be put up there, should be rewarded when his career is over. He is only 32, and he still has a long way on this contract. Marcus, you got 8 more years left. Holy shit. And a no trade clause. Hey, it is what it is. And you know, in my franchise, we are pretty ironclad about no trade clauses unless the team is absolutely deplorable. And with that being said, the Angels finished 74-88 this past season, 21 games behind the Mariners, but Trout is loyal. Kyle Tucker does finish second in the National League batting title, which, oh my God, he is about to get the bag. The question is, from who? Who is he getting it from? Is he going to become a Yankee? Is he going to become a Dodger? Is he going somewhere else? The Angels could probably use him. There's a ton of teams across the league that could use a premier right fielder of his caliber. I'm a little surprised he doesn't have other outfield secondaries. In the American League, as we've already come to know, Jarren Duran wins the batting title at a .316 average for the Boston Red Sox, the 12th Boston Red Sox to win a batting title. I think Mookie Betts was the last one that did it. Jose Altuve finished in second, just continuing a Hall of Fame career. I understand y'all gonna talk about the trash can stuff, and believe me, it hurt me. It hurt me back in 2017. But it is what it is. Was it 2017? It's 2019. Aaron Judge. Don't worry, we haven't demoted him to the Rail Riders. It's just he was hurt, and hurt players just end up in AAA or AA for whatever reason. National League Reliever of the Year award goes to Ryan Walker, 50 saves and a 2.56 ERA. Clap for Calvin Faucher. That is for a Miami Marlins team who really needs the offense. Their pitching is like really good. They did finish 70-92, but that pitching staff is right there. If they can just get some offense, like in a Mr. Hurricane series for the Miami Marlins, this team is going to be an issue if they can keep them pitchers together. Raisel Iglesias finishes third. In the American League, the Mariano Rivera Reliever of the Year award, the National League version is Trevor Hoffman. Emmanuel Clase for the third year in a row, it feels like. No, 3 out of the last 5 years. He has won Reliever of the Year. He's a 4 consecutive time All-Star. He's 26 years old and 209 saves. Now, granted, he is a long way from Mariano Rivera's saves record. Hell, he's a long way from Trevor Hoffman, but he could very well fall in that Kenley Jansen number of saves where you're about 400 to 450, and you very well could be looking at a Hall of Famer. I really hope the game isn't stingy about it, but I already know that it is, because in past games I have seen closers break Mariano Rivera's record. No Hall of Fame. It's like, what are y'all looking at? Like, this is a no-brainer. I don't make the rules, I barely follow them. Rookie of the Year. This is where I want to override it so badly, and I know it will be biased. Jacob Wilson wins the Rookie of the Year, but honestly, one of the worst Rookie of the Year campaigns I have ever seen. Now, granted, I'm going to give it to him that he had 52 RBI and 11 home runs. Also stole 13 bases. But Jason Dominguez had a better year than him. Jason Dominguez, better batting average, more hits, more homers, more RBI. And stole more bases. He went 20-20, and yeah, the average doesn't really scream out at you. Jason Dominguez should be the Rookie of the Year. There should be another tab here for awards where it's like, boom, Jason Dominguez, Rookie of the Year. We should have back-to-back Rookies of the Year on the New York Yankees. But I can't override it. Come on, man. Let me override it. This is an egregious one. I normally really don't have an issue with Rookie of the Year voting, but this is just wrong. In my opinion, I would prefer to see a rookie pitcher and a rookie hitter of the year. If you had to break that up at any point in time, it's really long overdue at this point. And I think it would help with the prospect promotion incentive. Roki Sasaki, I don't understand how he's in the Rookie of the Year conversation, given the fact he's played professional baseball in another league, but it's MLB Rookie of the Year, so he's a rookie in Major League Baseball. And he absolutely runs away with it. 17-8 with a 4.15 ERA, so not really anything to really be like, oh man, he had a phenomenal year. The wins, yes. 154 strikeouts through 190 and 2/3 innings. The whip, a 1.32, really not terrible. 18 quality starts, didn't get a shutout, and a 1.8 WAR. The Ks per 9 should be up, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's under contract for several more years, and he really may not be going anywhere at all. He may be a Dodger for the rest of his career. I'm not certain how they come up with the criteria for the Hank Aaron Award, even in real life, but Aaron Judge wins it. We get some kind of hardware out of this year. It still seems strange, though. Again, he got hurt in the middle of August, and now we're sitting here talking about him getting an award. He didn't help us in the postseason, but we'll get him coming back next year. His age 33 season in the National League. It goes to Shohei Ohtani, back-to-back years for him. His accolades, his mantle where he's going to keep his awards. He is quickly running out of room. All-Star appearances, you don't actually get an award for that. 3-time consecutive home run champion, Silver Sluggers, Rookie of the Year. He's got a Cy Young, an official Cy Young to go with an official MVP on top of 3 others. Gold Glove in the National League, Justin Steele. Not really much to say about these Gold Glove awards, except Max Fried gets yet another one in his career, his first in the American League. He is now a 4-time Gold Glover. Catcher, Cal Raleigh. I really don't know how they got Austin Wells anywhere in the conversation for Gold Glove, because if they accounted for throwing guys out, he ain't nowhere in this list, in my opinion. For some reason, that stat is not kept in the game, even through simulation. Like, come on, you can simulate some guys getting thrown out. It's really not that difficult, in my opinion. But I don't know coding. National League goes to Patrick Bailey, who I think this is like his 3rd Gold Glove. His 2nd in a row, as a matter of fact. Giants got them a good one. In San Fran. First base, Nathaniel Lowe gets it for the Nationals, who they're not a terrible team, but they do play in a division in which they were 28 games out of first place. Now defending champion, Philadelphia Phillies. In the American League, Christian Walker gets his, I want to say his 2nd. Oh, damn, this is 4th. Holy smokes. Somehow he's regressing. I don't understand why. I mean, Houston didn't have a... okay. Nope. That batting average, them slash numbers are not good. 214, 283, 387, and you still got him for 3 more years. It's not like he can't bounce back. I have seen plenty of older players, even in just this first season, you can be terrible for 1 year, and the next year and the year after that, even in your early to mid 30s, and you can start to fight off some of that regression. Gold Glove, second base, Marcus Semien, yet another Gold Glove for him, actually 2nd. Didn't have the best of seasons for the 2nd year in a row in terms of total numbers. The Rangers have him for a couple more seasons before he'll probably call it quits. Dairo Estrada wins the National League Gold Glove at second base. He's the best fielder in baseball. His arm might not be there, but he's going to run down everything for a Rockies team that is getting an absolute top flight youth young pitcher. If St. Aud, where you'll have to check back in the draft, is not the opening day starter or is not up in the majors by June 1st, I am yelling at the league office. Third base, Matt Chapman, one of the best third basemen of his generation as far as fielding is concerned. A 6-time Gold Glover. The Giants, again, that National League West is a doozy, man. I am so glad we don't play in that division, but our own division is already giving us fits, so I really can't talk. Giants finished 3rd in their division with 91 wins. That wins essentially almost every other division. 2 of the other divisions in baseball, both the Central Leagues. In the American League, Gio Urshela, former New York Yankee, wins a Gold Glove. His first Gold Glove of his career, and honestly, it's probably going to be his last. He is a free agent this season, and I got to keep it 100. We are looking for third base. We could use third base, might be looking somewhere else, as we can kind of shuffle the infield deck a little bit to make things work. Jazz Chisholm, he's played third base, and I really want him to play third base. Maybe we'll find somebody else at second. Francisco Lindor wins the National League Gold Glove at shortstop, his 3rd of his career. Maybe the Mets might be making a move, moving one starter, maybe getting younger, so that, I mean, Uncle Stevie doesn't care about spending the bread. The question is, how much more bread is he going to spend? I mean, he spent it for Soto. Is he going to buy more pitching? Like, is Uncle Stevie really that hell-bent? I mean, shit, he's got, what, $20-30 billion of American League Gold Glove goes to none other than Bobby Witt Jr., his, I want to say his 3rd straight? No, it's actually his 2nd straight Gold Glove. He's the best shortstop in baseball. Offense, he's got the defense. He's going to run you ragged. Only finished with half as many home runs this season, and holy hell, his batting average is terrible. Oh, man, 332 to 216 in a single year. Talk about a fall off. That explains why his power got cut in half. Now, he did steal bases, and he's up to 142, which I know it's not Ricky Henderson numbers because literally no one is going to catch Ricky Henderson. Anthony Volpe does finish third, though that fielding percentage is not that great. I know it looks good, 98.5, but that's not, just no. Jarren Duran wins the left field gold glove in the American League. We already talked about him in the wild card episode. He's an up-and-comer, 28 years old. Red Sox might do themselves a favor and extend him, but given that he's 28, they may just be like, we're going to play the arbitration game. He should be looking at a pretty big number, somewhere in the double digits, probably close to like 15 million in ARB. May ask for a little bit more. I know this is a Yankees franchise. I do like the fact that he's a great fielder. Red Sox not going to give him up, though. In the National League, I don't know where this came from. Matt Kepler wins the left field gold glove. Analytics just confused the hell out of me. He had a good season, and he is a free agent. The team's out there looking for an outfielder. He does have World Series experience. Can we put World Series championships on player cards? I don't know how they'll figure it out in MLB The Show, because to be honest, the way teams can do it, it is really up to their discretion, as if you have played a single game on the 40-man roster, you basically could be eligible for a World Series. But it is really on a team-by-team basis. Hell, just let us choose. Listen, everybody that was significant, that had over 100 plate appearances, or guys that were on the postseason roster, even though I really want them to really fix the postseason rosters, let us choose it before we jump in, and don't force me to keep a guy on the roster without having add somebody and then remove them. It takes too much damn work, because half the time they'll have players that just don't make sense. Like Gold Glove goes to Jose Siri, an individual that has made his money playing defense and running. He does hit for some power. As you know, a couple years ago, he did hit 25 homers. The batting average is never going to be there. The American League Gold Glove goes to Julio Rodriguez. Hey, it's been another good year for him. That batting average, holy smokes, what is with all these young dudes taking a step back? Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez, and some others taking a step back. But I mean, he's 24. He's the Mariners' centerpiece. They've got the pitching. They made it to the American League Championship Series, but ended up losing to the Red Sox, honestly, surprisingly, in 6. Like, they have the better pitching of the two squads, but the Mariners might be looking to retool, though we know that they're not the biggest of spenders. Right field Gold Glove goes to Colton Cowser. Orioles get themselves another Gold Glover in the outfield, his first of his career, and he's 24. Offensively, he actually had a really good year, 30 and 87 RBI. The slash is really not anything that you're going to be like, oh man, this is a real up-and-comer, which probably explains why his overall is going down. 232, 307, 432. In the National League, it is Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker, y'all know, going to be probably the biggest free agent out there, winning a Gold Glove, and should be looking for the bag. Might even get it from the Cubs, despite the Luis Robert trade. Negotiations can get funny. Silver Slugger, Shohei Ohtani. This really shouldn't be a surprise. Brent Rooker gets it in the American League again, actually. I didn't know he won it last year. Silver Slugger for catcher, Cal Riley. JT Real Muto, and would probably be his last Silver Slugger of his career. He's a DH at this point, though his catching stats are kind of okay. Oh, wow, I thought he was older than 33. He is a free agent, and there will be teams looking to get him, especially with the championship experience. Vlad Guerrero, he got all the money and said, Silver Slugger, it's all right. That's not a problem for me. Behind my cranium, 2021, 24, and 25, to go along with a Gold Glove, and is one of the rare two-time All-Star MVPs. At 25 years old, he could definitely get a third and might end up getting that elusive MVP he couldn't get a couple of years ago. The National League goes to Matt Olson for what feels like the third or fourth year in a row. It is actually his second of the last 3 years. The Braves got them one. They got them a massive power hitter at first base. Wait, first base? I thought he was a third baseman. Ketel Marte wins his second straight Silver Slugger in the National League. American League goes to Jose Altuve. Rafael Devers wins the Silver Slugger for the second out of 3 years, his third of his career. He's won it every other odd year. Vientos wins it in the National League with 41 homers. Jeez. Though Eugenio Suarez is the free agent with pretty good numbers, age of 33, should be looking for probably a 3-year deal. Teams feel like he can continue to keep that pop up there. Gunnar Henderson wins the Silver Slugger in the American League. He's been getting an accolade every single year. Rookie of the Year, back-to-back All-Star appearances, and 2 out of the last 3 years he was a Silver Slugger. Mookie Betts obviously wins the Silver Slugger in the National League with another batting title. Kyle Tucker gets the Silver Slugger. Anthony Santander wins back-to-back years of Silver Slugger, proving that guess he was worth the money that the Blue Jays were giving him. Now they finished in last place, so they need to make a move that is going to put them in the conversation for the division. We finished third. Teoscar Hernandez wins the Silver Slugger in the National League. I think that's his third. It is his fourth at the age of 32. Also a home run derby winner from last year, and he's still got 2 more years left in that contract. And Riley Green wins the Silver Slugger in the American League. Again, Detroit, if you want to have some kind of sustained, at least decentness, y'all gonna have to extend this man. He's 24 years old, and you've got 3 more years of arbitration. Now, Detroit is probably going to be cheap about this, but you might probably pay Green. You might most likely have to pay Skubal, or you're more than likely just going to lose him in free agency. American League postseason MVP Williard Abreu, 2 homers and 14 RBI through the first 3 rounds of the postseason. Kyle Schwarber wins the postseason MVP in the National League. And ever controversially, this is the biggest reason why we need to have the ability to override awards. Bryson Stott wins the World Series MVP, and there is nothing I can do about it. 1 homer and 3 RBI. We saw the ending of the World Series, or we should have seen the ending of the World Series. We saw that, some players contributed in a bigger way than just Bryson Stott. Yes, he hit 474. Trey Turner had a 3-run walk-off homer in Game 1. Kyle Schwarber was absolutely on fire the entire World Series, but because his batting average wasn't higher than this dude's, he doesn't win the World Series MVP. And you know what? Pitchers, it is literally, and I mean literally, impossible to win the World Series MVP. I have never seen it in 20 years in MLB The Show. Enough ranting. Jeez, this is a half-hour ranting. Let's actually get to the offseason. All right. All teams have 5 days after the World Series to negotiate with players who do not have a contract for the 26 season, and that includes some of our New York Yankees. Qualifying offer $21.8 million for a 1-year deal, but we got to look at the retirees. Paul Goldschmidt calling it a career, and understandably so. He's not going to be just a lefty platoon player, even with that 80 contact. He's 38 years old. He's more than likely a Hall of Famer in real life, more so than he is in MLB The Show. I highly doubt he's making it in the show. And he's put up good numbers, but I don't know their criteria. This last year just was not good for him. 190 average, hit lefties better than righties. He really didn't hit much at all. And yeah, it was definitely the end. Ben Rice essentially took over his spot in Game 1 of the Wild Card Series, and that was the last time we would see him. Kenta Maeda calls it a career with the Detroit Tigers. I'm a little surprised he's here. I could have sworn he went to MPB, or was thinking about going to MPB between 24 and 25. I could be wrong. Kyle Hendricks somehow made an entire career, and damn, he still didn't get 100 wins. You can't see it beyond me, but 98 wins, 86 losses, a 3.74 ERA, 1,288 strikeouts despite basically not throwing 90 miles per hour. 10-year major league career. What a little change to go with it. Crafty is all Crafty gets. Expect a DD card in the future, even if honestly it'll probably get smashed into oblivion. Nick Ahmed calls it a career. Former Gold Glover. He tore his ACL and it's just like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm moving on. Jesse Chavez, who somehow has continued pitching through the age of 42, including pitching 15 games for the Texas Rangers with a pretty good ERA. Justin Turner calls it a career. I am 100% sure he has a World Series on there, but maybe MLB The Show is trolling. A World Series championship, but they don't put it in the game. Played until age 41. Not really terrible numbers for a dude at his age. 257, 18 homers, 70 RBI. I mean, if it wasn't for guys like Barry Bonds or whatever, like that's a pretty damn good season for a dude of his caliber. Not a Hall of Famer by any means, but really solid dude. Here, his teammates really liked him. Hey, maybe he'll become a coach. Tommy Pham, who has recently been in the news for telling people a 3-letter acronym that I'm not going to repeat right now, but a lot of New Yorkers definitely know what it is. Boy, just an interesting guy. Just an interesting guy. A guy that can kind of fly off the handle, but you know what? He made a 10-year career out of something he probably, most guys really wouldn't have. Drafted in 06. He's had some moments. He's a shocker. Hugh Darvish, who I believe had like 4 more years left on that contract, says, bruh, I am done. And with a 6.29 ERA, it is understandable. 2,074 strikeouts, 1,800 plus innings. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it when he really retires. He should have won the 2020 Cy Young. You know who won it. You can look up Baseball Reference or Baseball Almanac. Pretty solid career. 115 and 97. I believe he came over from the MPB back in 2011. No word on whether he's going back. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, get a couple more years out of it. I'm not saying it's an old-timers league, because by no means is NPB a lightweight baseball, but they tend to honor the older players a bit more there. Maybe he'll play a couple seasons. Jose Abreu, the 2020 AL MVP, calls it a career, did not play anywhere. Maybe he'll go coach in Cuba. Oh, no, wait, he might not be able to go back. Johnny Cueto calls it a career. I feel like I've seen him call it a career in MLB The Show for the last 7 years. He works off that changeup, which I'm honestly surprised they have his four-seam as his primary pitch. He was a changeup guy. He throws that changeup first, and then he sprinkles that fastball in there so that your eyeballs are just like, oh, damn, I got to catch up to the fastball, despite it really never going higher than 92, 93. Didn't really play much. We remember for his time with the Kansas City Royals. He was, no, not the Royals. Where was he? Cincinnati Reds is where I remember him most. 20 wins in 2014. I thought he should have won the Cy Young that year. Who won the 2014 Cy Young? Never mind. It was Clayton Kershaw. Also won the MVP that year. Yeah, you were going to have a hard time beating that man out. 21-3 with a 1.77 ERA. Yeah, you're not beating that out, dude. 2.25 most years is probably going to get it for you. And them 20 wins, even if you're not an old school wins are what matter for pitcher kind of person, platform. Very solid career. One of the show G's, and I mean one of the OGs from MLB The Show 06. Rich Hill has finally called it a career at the age of 46. He is 10 years older than me, or 11, given that they give you the 1 year age jump during the offseason. I don't know how the hell he hung around this long. I mean, he's been crafty as hell his entire career, but yes, he has played all the way back since before MLB The Show, 2005. One of 2 players on the live roster are show G's, him and Justin Verlander, who I am surprised I didn't see Justin Verlander's name on here. He didn't get waived or anything like that. Dallas Keuchel calls it a career, though. To be honest, he's pitching an MPB. I'm surprised he was even on the MLB The Show roster. JD Martinez is going to call it a career after 13 MLB seasons. I'm surprised nobody picked them up. There was word that the Yankees would have done so. Whit Merrifield calls it a career. Multiple-time All-Star. I could have sworn he won a couple Gold Gloves. Like, he was that good at one point. Center, I believe he was a center fielder and a second baseman. Charlie Morton calls it a career. We saw him get released by the Orioles mid-season because he was just stinking up the joint. Another guy who I don't understand how he lasted so long, but that veteran presence plays out a bit better in real life than, say, MLB The Show. Justin Verlander really didn't retire. Let's see who actually made the Hall of Fame. Nothing more needs to be said here. Exclusive rights free agency. We have several players that are asking for a contract. Devin Williams, who in real life, I think we all feel about the same way as we have felt about him, especially in this series. He's gotten saves. He's blown a lot of them also. 38 saves, 10 of them blown, 6 losses. His ERA ballooned to a 3.82, which for most pitchers is like, hey, that's not a bad season. Or most closers, that might not be a bad season, but higher standards than a lot of teams. And to be honest, I really feel like Luke Weaver can handle it. He can handle the closing duty. He's slightly older, but given his ability to throw more innings, given that 40 stamina, I think he should be the closer. So I am going to attempt to bring him back. I hope he comes back. Might have to overpay a bit to get him. Let's see what he is asking for. He wants 1 year, 5.6. Bruh, here, you could take 3 years. I think 16.8 million is fair. Absolutely fair. I'll switch him to closer when I actually sign him, or if I sign him. I don't think he'll fall off too much. 5.6 million is a really fair deal. I thought he would have asked for like 10. I would have given him 10, but this is what he's asking for. So be it. Devin Williams, how much does he want? He wants $11 million a year. I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. I'm not giving it to him. I don't want to offer him the qualifying offer because he's probably going to take it. Trent Grisham, who my biggest issue with him is he can't hit righties. If he could hit righties, he'd play a bit more. But in the games that I've played, I never play him. And he really didn't hit that bad, but seems like every time I was up to the plate with him, there was just no hitting. There was just no hitting with him. Heat maps are terrible for my own liking. I'm not going to offer him a qualifying offer. That's just dumb. And he wants 10 million. Bro, I'm not paying you 10 million for that. I'm sorry. Those are solid numbers. I'm not giving you 10. Those are not $10 million numbers. Jonathan Loaisiga, 99 walks per 9 is definitely something that makes me want to keep him. Decent ERA. I don't think he's a setup man, as his clutch really isn't good enough in my opinion to do so, though he does throw hard. He's a good middle reliever dude. What is he asking for? 3.1 million. I could take that. You want a 1 year? You want to give him a second year? Games in 2022, 4.13. 2021, 2.17. His career is a 3.3 ERA, and he did start for 3 years. His biggest issue might be the fact he is constantly hurt with a durability of 63, which is no precursor for injury in this game. It really just has to do as far as stamina regeneration. I'll offer him 1 year. Tim Hill, I definitely want to bring back, even if his Ks per 9 really aren't like gonna wow you for a reliever. His numbers have jumped up, and it's not by my doing. He just pitched well, but he's 36 years old. If I sign him into 1 year, are we gonna run into an issue where he's gonna fall off a cliff? He had a damn good season, 2.74 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 65 innings. Obviously, he doesn't strike guys out, but he does have 18 holds. I'm pretty sure I could get younger, and I'm pretty sure he might have a younger lefty reliever. We might be able to find better, even if it might cost us a little more. 1.4 million really is nothing. Cookie Carrasco, I was never calling you up. I was never going to, like, you were never going to see the field. I question how you even made the real life Yankee roster, and I'm glad I started before the regular season started. Somehow you have pitched long enough, and I am not bringing you back. Dom Smith, I could bring him back. He's probably on an arbitration deal. Oh, nope, he's an outright free agent. I'm not clogging up my minors with a 5-year deal, 3.9 million. I mean, you hit well, and guess you're not that terrible. Like a 1-year deal. I know you might not like it, but Aaron Boone ain't going nowhere. James Rosen. Oh my God. Plate discipline -2, power +1, vision -2, drag bunting -2. We don't really care about the drag bunting. We're the Yankees. We don't drag bunt. We drag the baseball over the fence a lot. So that +1 is fine. Plate vision definitely hurts us some, and the plate discipline doesn't seem to matter in this game. It really more so has to do with whether you check swing or not, and even then the animation seems to play out more. So we gotta pay him 1.57 million. He got 2 years left. Damn. Let's see if there's anybody else we can get rid of. Matt Blake, we need to redo this Jazz. For this purposes, I am going to release him. 400,000 for a dude just tanking everything. Isaac Stratton. We don't really steal bases like that, but -2 speed is not good. The +3 blocking is important, and the durability really doesn't hurt either. Luis Rojas, +1 durability, but minuses elsewhere across the board. -1 blocking, -2 stealing. So we're getting -4 stealing from our base coaches. That's not good. And a -1 arm strength. I don't like that. No, we're getting a -5 from our corner base coaches, and I don't like that. I'm sorry, you gotta go. Oh damn, 1.3 million? Shit, how much money I got to spend? Apparently we have 74.52 million. Jason Michael, you can stay. We're gonna find ourselves a new pitching coach. I'm gonna offer Eugene Varela an opportunity to become our pitching coach. Gives us +3 stamina, +1 pitching clutch, +3 hits per 9, -3 home runs per 9, which, I mean, it could be a little bit of an issue. I think this is a fair deal. I'm going to also offer Christopher Shepard the job. I know we get a -3 blocking, but listen, our catchers really do good at blocking anyway. I know I'm making it worse. I do want better fielding. The Yankees need better defense. There's really no way around it. And the +2 durability is a bonus. And we'll offer him $1 million a year. Not the best of contracts. Hopefully he takes it. Eugene Varela will now be our new pitching coach for the next 3 seasons. On election day, Framber Valdez re-signs with the Houston Astros. He was set to be an exclusive free agent, and I think he may be the only one in the league to re-sign. Actually, that's not true. Bo Bichette also signed a 5-year, $85 million contract. That is way less than I would have thought he would have gotten in the open market, but guess he kind of had to hedge his bets at the age of 28, playing shortstop. Like, yeah, I could probably get more, but he wanted to stay right there in Toronto alongside his teammate Vlad Guerrero Jr. Clayton Kershaw re-signs for a 1-year, $9 million. Yes, I changed him to a reliever because he was asking for 21. That's just not happening. I will convert him back to a starter because the last couple years he's only wanted 1-year deals for like $10 million. It's probably all deferred. Deivi Garcia, former Yankee, resigns with the Brewers. I am making the executive decision. Anthony Rendon's getting released. Angels don't care about paying him at this point. Yes, we would like to stop simulating because I have to sign all the guys to arbitration and renewal deals. One of the best parts of the offseason. But before we get to that, we do have to fill our 40-man roster, or at least get kind of close. If you want to know how I tend to do my 40-man roster, there is a link to a video down in the description. Yes, it's from last year and probably the year before that, but they still operate the exact same. If you have any questions, also put your comment down in either that or this video. If we're losing Tim Hill as a lefty reliever, Tyler Matzik is an option. It's just that he's 35 and I don't think anybody's going to take him in the Rule 5, so we're not going to add him to the 40-man. Chase Hampton's attributes and really his overall may be playing into my decision. I think I'm going to put him on the 40-man just for the simple fact I think a team actually would take him. Probably a team looking for a starting pitcher. Yeah, we're going to just add him. Our top prospect, Spencer Jones, is eligible for the Rule 5 draft, and I would just feel disgusting if we just let him go. He hasn't even played for the majors yet, and his fielding actually really is pretty solid. It's just I wish his bat would come around, and he's a decent speed. We'll more than likely see him in spring. Tender contracts. Oswaldo Cabrera, I think this is a very fair deal. Arbitration-wise, he's not going to ask for a ton, or at least the initial offering is not going to be much, $800,000. I'm not going to pay him $800,000 for being a guy that can play multiple positions across the entire field. I think the 3-year, $8 million, so $24 million in total deal sounds fair for a versatile player. I'm just not sure if he's a starter at any of the positions we could put him at. If we fail to get anybody in the infield market, he can fill in one of the other places. So maybe first, maybe second, maybe third. I mean, we've got guys that can move to other spots, maybe even the outfield, given that Bellinger is still under contract. Though I know in real life this would be an option for him. Maybe we'll move him to first and sign an outfielder. I think this is a very fair deal for a guy who still has some room to get better. We got the tale of two pitchers here. Luis Gil, who had a very good, last 2 years, and Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt is 30 as we speak. I don't see myself extending him as both individuals want similar amounts of money. 5 years, 96, 5 years, 104.5 million, though Eel is much younger by 3 years, which makes a difference. I'm going to offer Luis Eel this money now. If he accepts it, cool. If not, I think he'll just go to free agency when the time comes. Again, still very high potential player, but look, he's just getting better. I can't afford to let him go to free agency, and I know we've spent a shit ton of money on pitchers the last half decade. Cole, Rodon, Fried, Hill, Eel might be one of them. This is absolutely necessary. I don't want to let him get to free agency, so hopefully he takes his deal. I'm usually the type that'll offer arbitration as a safety net. I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. At least not until the last minute. We have until, I believe, December 2nd before we have to give him an arbitration deal, and then they'll deal with it in February. Clark Schmidt, on the other hand, we'll offer him this. If he takes it, cool. If he asks for anything over like 5 or 6 million, we're not that we're hurting for money. It's just, I don't see us really extending him that far. Anthony Volpe's not asking for much in an extension. In fact, he's only asking for 2 years, which is kind of weird, but he'd probably get good money in the open market, so arbitration it is. Mark Leiter Jr. following an all-star appearance. This is absolutely fair for a reliever. Hell, he's probably our setup man. Fernando Cruz, I'm teetering on whether I even give him arbitration or not. Like, he's got solid attributes. His ERA number, though, really wasn't that great. Struck out more guys than innings, but just not sure. At 35, he might be at that tippy top. It may just be falling off a cliff. He should be back for spring training. Remember, he broke his ankle at the end of the regular season, so we didn't have him for the postseason. 800, let's give him 900,000. Pay some of the medical bills. Spinning the block on Luisio. He made 800,000 last year. I feel like it's only fair we offer him a bit more for arbitration. The $100+ million contract is still on the table, and I kind of hope he accepts that, or else the number's just going to keep going up in future years. Here are some of the top players in free agency. Got Ryan Helsley, Dylan Cease, Ranger Suarez, Michael King, Zach Eflin, Devin Williams, Matt Strum, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, and some other guys. This isn't the strongest of free agent classes. Actually, where's Kyle Tucker? First player on the free agent list. I'm going to ignore the available to spend money because I don't think that's true. Maybe they won't let us sign anybody. That would be absolutely nuts in my opinion. Luke Weaver, I'd like to think he wants more than 1 year, $6.2 million. I'll give him 2. I think what I offered him earlier was a solid deal. I mean, you want 6.2? We'll spend $7.5 million a year. Sounds fine for you to be our closer. And because we made a competitive offer to a top 25 free agent, we get a 5% motivation boost. He should be signing back with no problem. We should have Weaver back within like a week, in my opinion. Josh Naylor is extremely enticing. He plays a position of need, though we do have Ben Rice there. I'm not really giving up on Rice. It's just you can't really turn down 35 and 101 RBI in a season. He is pretty much peaking at this point of his career. A 267 average, pretty good slugging at 484, and he's only asking for $16.1 million as of right now on a 5-year deal. So that's about $82 million in total, which I think is still way too low for what he would ask for in real life. He also plays right field, but we're never going to really stick him there. The issue is Aaron Judge is supposed to be playing first at some point. He's yet to fall off at the age of 32, with Giancarlo Stanton kind of clogging up the DH position, and I can't trade him. We're in a bit of a dilemma. I can either go after Josh Naylor, maybe move Ben Rice in terms of a trade, sign Naylor, and move Judge at some point. Maybe it'll happen before Stanton or after Stanton has retired. I'm just not quite sure yet, but this is very intriguing. Bringing back Gleyber is a possibility. The thing is, he wants a 5-year deal, and I'm just not quite sure I want to give him 5 years. He left us in free agency, though that was a really questionable situation. Like, Gleyber didn't want to move the third to let Jazz Chisholm play second. Then it's like he would have moved. Maybe it was the money that Gleyber was asking for. I mean, we could bring him back. He's coming off his best average-wise hitting season of his career. In fact, he was in the running for the batting title a lot of the year. Is that fool's gold? Should we let him go elsewhere, especially considering he doesn't have the positional versatility? If I move him to another position, we're screwed. The temptation is there. While Willie Castro has been signed in free agency in many different content creators franchises, I just don't think I'm going to do it. Strictly for that reason alone. I'm not going to be a copycat. We're going to slow play this. Oh, damn. The Chicago Cubs did re-sign Kyle Tucker, and they gave him a massive deal. 9 years, $324.9 million. A lot lower than the like 450 that he's rumored to be getting IRL, but honestly, that's probably close enough. But 9 years, damn. That means they're going to have Pete Crow Armstrong, Luis Robert, and Kyle Tucker. That is a hell of an outfield that they can have for several years. Turns out Christopher Shepard is being offered the Angels third base position, and we'll have to go back and figure out where in the menu to try to sign a third base coach of our own. Wait, we got a contract decision incoming. It should be Luke Weaver. If not, I'm gonna be mad as hell. Come on. Luke Weaver's coming back for 2 years. The man who should have been the closer following the 2024 World Series is locked up for the next 2 seasons. I will officially move his position to closer. I don't care what it does to his overall, but Yes, I think that's a good look for 2 years. We also signed this non-top 150 free agent. It's the old free agent system, though you can't front load or back load, a real big oversight by Sony San Diego. Prince Watson, probably not anything too crazy, but see potential, 60 overall. He really doesn't look too terrible, though. That BB per 9 ain't great. I do like his pitch mix. We're not much of a base stealing team other than like 3 players, maybe 4, but I'm going to attempt to sign Devin Fry, as he does give us better reaction and +2 durability with an older team. I definitely want players to be able to play out there longer and as best as they can be on those days. Take that back. That was first base. We needed a third base coach. Third base coach, which actually I think his attributes changed. It's -1 arm accuracy, -1 steal, +3 reaction, and +2 durability. I think the reaction and durability stayed the same. So we're going to give him maybe a $3.5 million deal. Hopefully he takes it, fills the entire bar. Hopefully he signs real soon. Dev Fry does take the deal, 3 years as our third base coach. All right, let's take a look at some of these free agent contracts. Let's see who has signed and who has not signed. And as you can see right above my Chrome Dome, Luis Heel will re-sign with us, 5 years, $104.5 million, avoiding arbitration, because if he just gets better and ranges into that A potential type player, then we have to pay a lot more money. Not that we should be concerned. We are the New York Yankees. Lucas Erceg re-signs with the Royals, 3 years, $9.6 million. I don't think too many big deals have really cropped up quite yet. The last team I did a franchise with offered me 3 very interesting deals, and I almost want to take one of these 3. I think this is the landing spot for Marcus Stroman. They want to give me Joe Adell straight up. I almost want to just do it because I do like Joe Adell, and in last year's franchise, the Los Angeles Angels series, which unfortunately I never finished due to save corruption, Joe Adell was hitting damn well for me, and he would cover the spot of a guy like Trent Grisham, who honestly I don't hit well with. There's no guarantee I will in this one, and we would have control of Adell for several more years. Very tempting. I'm not 100% sure if Joe Adell's potential actually went down to a C, but his batting average really doesn't do him any favors. 222 this past year. He did hit 15 home runs and steal 20 bases. Maybe that's why they want to let him go, and he's only really under contract for 2 more years. I'm almost willing to do this. He won't be in a starting role off the top of my head, but it is thought. This just seems like the fairest trade. One underwhelming player for another underwhelming player. A starter in this league, I guess, for another starter in this league. Yeah, we're probably getting the better end of this deal. Hang on, let me throw another player in here. I can't hit with Alex Jackson. He's got to go. We'll figure out catcher some other way. After offering this trade, they're going to accept it because I have control of all the trades. PCA re-signs. Shit, he'd be stupid not to re-sign given the outfield the Cubs have. Following the trade, we do have to offer Joe Adell arbitration at the very worst. Not asking for a ton of money. I think the $2.1 million, what's he want for a full offer? Yeah, I'm not giving you that. You'll get arbitration and probably like it. For now, Ahmed Rosario seems to be available in free agency. While he doesn't hit for power, as the numbers will, you can't see it behind my head. The last time he hit double-digit home runs was in 2022 for the Cleveland Guardians. But he really fits the profile of the type of player we probably should be putting on our roster. He hits for contact, very good vision above my head, 76, and is decently clutch. Problem is he doesn't field all that great, but maybe if we stick him at second, it won't be a problem, and Oswaldo Cabrera can just kind of float around as we need to give players days off. He is asking for 2 years, $6.4 million. That doesn't seem too crazy of a deal, to be honest with you. He is only 30 years old, and I can't offer him yet because I don't know what his motivation is at this point. In our first pop-up free agent has signed Ryan Helsley, going from St. Louis to the Arizona Diamondbacks on a 4-year, $60.7 million deal. I think this is a really solid deal for the D-backs. Maybe it might not work out too well in years late 3, maybe 4. But with 38 saves, this is a damn good move for a team that's really trying to position itself as one of the absolute best in the National League. Oh, snap. I didn't see this coming. Eugenio Suarez is signing with the Angels on a 1-year deal. Okay, Angels. Shit, maybe we got fleeced in this Stroman deal, and I guess getting rid of Rendon freed up some money, though this is like half as much as Rendon would have made. Josh Naylor is going to the West Coast on a 6-year, 106, that seems really low, $1 million deal with the Giants. 35 homers, 101 RBI. I mean, he'll be sitting there right alongside Matt Chapman on the other corner, and Willie Adames at short. Young-Hoo Lee in center, who basically will throw anybody out from like 30 miles away. One of the strongest arms in baseball, if not the best arm in baseball. I don't think he won the Gold Glove, but don't run on him. Do not tag up and try to go to third on him. Patrick Bailey re-signs with the Giants as well. 5 years, $37 million. That might not seem like much, but I think he wanted to just lock himself into a spot with the Giants through about age 30. Jarren Duran accepts a 6-year, $132 million deal. That might seem low for a guy at about 28 years old, but it buys out arbitration and gives him some security for the next several years. Coming off a batting title, the Royals signed Cedric Mullins to a 1-year, $14.25 million deal. I think that's a pretty damn good deal for them. Joey Bart comes back to the Pirates on a 1-year, $8.1 million deal, avoiding arbitration. He had a really good year last year. I believe he had about 20 home runs and about 75 to 80 RBI. So he figured, let me get some money now. You know, the Pirates, they're not going to offer anybody too crazy a more than 1-year deal most of the time. But he could be the, as of right now, catcher for the next couple years. Angels re-sign Logan O'Hoppe for a $60 million deal for the next 5 years. Again, another catcher that wants to just kind of secure the money when and where he can, as the catcher position really isn't one where guys are going to get a ton of money, especially if you're not a younger guy. Or I don't know how Keibert Ruiz ended up securing the deal he did, but it's steady money coming in. A team that really needed some pitching, especially in the playoffs. Ranger Suarez signs with the Rangers, 3 years, $85.5 million. They are really spending money on pitching. Their offense seems fine. Maybe this is that starter that'll put them over the top, maybe send them back to the World Series following a 3-2 exit to the Mariners this past postseason. Damn. Michael King coming back to NY. 5 years, $139.7 million deal. This is this hurts. This is a good deal. But the funny thing is, now the Mets have basically the bigger parts of the Juan Soto deal, in which we traded for Soto, and now they got the big piece of said trade. It's like little bro wants to be us so badly. This is a good deal. 2.9 ERA. It's really not bad, but damn, they actually may have a good to solid rotation at this point. This is rather sad. Kris Bryant is going to be released by the Rockies. He's sitting in the minors. He really hasn't played very well, and I know this is going to hurt the Rockies budget-wise, but who the hell are they spending money on anyway? You might as well cut your losses. You can't trade him, and to be honest, I don't even think he really can be sent down to the minors given his contract, not because of money, but because I think there's a contractual stipulation. I think the favor should be done. It's a damn shame, but holy smokes. Actually, they won't be hurt too badly. They still have to pay him out, but they'll be required to pay about $35 million of the like $90 million paying. They'd really be paying for all of it regardless because they're waiving him. The Kris Bryant era is over. Second line from the top, Tariq Skubal signs his extension. 5 years, $201.5 million. He essentially had the Tigers over a barrel, and they didn't really have much of a choice. Back-to-back Cy Youngs, which really probably isn't too crazy for them in the last 2 decades. Justin Verlander, I believe, won a couple of Cy Youngs with them. Guys win the Cy Young, and then just like, listen, we in Detroit, where y'all gonna get pitchers from? Where? And the Tigers decided, you know what, the type of division that we are in with the Guardians, with the Royals, with the Twins to some extent, gotta pay up, even if it hurts. And Luis Rengifo, this never popped up signed in a contract with the Mariners, so he'll stay in the AL West. 3 years, $38.47 million. That's a good move to really bolster that infield, though he's not the best of fielders. He's got a good enough bat, especially against lefties. Maybe this is something that the Mariners are looking for. With the 40-man roster deadline on November 20th, there seem like there's some decent players out there that have now joined the free agent pool. I'm going to take a look at them. A couple weeks ago, we offered Ahmed Rosario a contract, but I don't know if he really wants it. So I'm gonna look around. All right, we're in a bit of an infield dilemma. I haven't offered another infield player a contract yet, but it's on the table. Brendan Rodgers, who also serves the second baseman role, hits for contact against lefties and righties, doesn't really have speed, does hit opposite, which means as a right-handed batter, he's hitting it towards first, towards second base, as opposed to being a pull hitter. Rodgers does hit for greater power than Mr. Rosario. Both have decent, about the same clutch and vision from what I can see. Rosario might have the edge because of speed. Only one of these guys is going to get a contract. The other one I'm willing to just let walk. I mean, Rosario, again, only a year older. Potential doesn't really matter to me at this point at the age of 30, as he's probably peaked, as has probably Rodgers, though Rodgers may have another year ahead of him, kind of depending on, I guess, how he plays. He did not play in 2025. Rosario, on the other hand, did for the Washington Nationals. 278 average in the heat map is literally he can hit everything anywhere. And he has a bit of a better arm and can, I guess, marginally play the outfield. He's got a solid arm. The fielding just is not there. I wouldn't put him in the outfield unless I absolutely had to. And I believe Rosario's motivation to sign went down because I have Brendan Rodgers on the docket. I would prefer Rosario because of the speed and contact. He'd more than likely become our leadoff hitter. Jazz, I like the bop he can give us, but I don't think that's going to be consistent. Despite the fact I did pay him, I need 20 and 20 out of him. If he's giving us 30 and 15 to 20, cool. Might want that a little bit lower down the lineup. Ahmed Rosario will get on and be a base stealing threat, even greater than Jazz Chisholm, even though Rosario's not really stealing bases. He stole 7 and was caught 7 times, so his speed days may be over, or he's just been unlucky in the catchers he ran into. Rodgers wants less money, but we ain't concerned about money. We the Yankees. Zach Eflin stays within the American League East division, going to the Toronto Blue Jays. 5 years, $122.6 million, following a pretty good season at 17-9 with a 3.21 ERA. Another transactional news: Riley Green on December 1st signs a 5-year, $105 million deal, avoiding arbitration with the Detroit Tigers. Adley Rutschman signs an extension, 5 years, $75 million. That's a lot less than we were talking about it several years ago, but I guess Adley decided, I got to get my money now, and if y'all want to move me to first, then whatever. But I think he just wants to continue playing for the Baltimore Orioles, and you know what? It's good to see. Orioles do have a catcher waiting in the wings. Samuel Basallo, 21 years old, beat potential. He's probably going to be the next catcher, and probably by the time we get to the later half of Rutschman's contract, he should be ready for the majors. Hell, Adley will be 32, 33, 34. Rutschman somehow can't play first. I think we'll make that adjustment in the future. It's only fair. Oh, okay, we are being reached out to by Kevin Newman, who is a 32-year-old middle infielder, second, third, shortstop. A great fielder, can hit also, just like Rosario, and doesn't run nearly as well. It's tempting. I get he's a top 100 free agent for whatever that's worth in a free agent class. 32. I'm not interested in, how does everybody have Stephanie Saunders as the agent? Like, yo, she's getting run like ragged at this point. All right, still waiting on Rosario, still waiting on Brendan Rodgers, one of the two. Again, we want Rosario. Starting pitcher Eric Beatty goes to the Brewers. I believe this is a re-sign. 3 years, $63.2 million. Damn, that's a lot for a guy that's going to be heading into his mid-30s with the squad. But, I mean, he had a 2.68 ERA, which really ain't too bad. Ignore the win-loss ratio, despite the Brewers being a near playoff team last season. And we're getting another free agent opportunity. Dylan Moore, girl, you gonna need a vacation. They're asking about Dylan Moore. Be potential 75 overall. He wants 7.6 million. What does he bring to the table? I remembered looking at him that I didn't show. I love the positional versatility. But my dude, you can't hit against righties. I can't have that. I'm sorry. You field very well, but Rosario, while he's not going to be as good of the fielder, offensively is what I am looking for. I am not interested. And I'm also not looking to up Rosario's offer. I'm going to keep it 100. Now we get to the draft lottery. Again, not something we are ultimately concerned about, just given the fact that, well, we made the postseason for whatever it's worth, despite getting swept out of the wild card round. So our pick shouldn't move, but I want to see how the rest of the league shakes out. All right, looking at the odds and positionings, I have no control over this. It's just all the stars because I'm technically controlling all of the teams. White Sox, Rockies, and Marlins, the three worst teams in baseball, are the top in top positionings for the first pick. The Padres are fourth. They are spending a lot of money to be this terrible. I mean, the talent is there, just didn't come together, and they lost Michael King. Dylan Cease is still kind of a toss-up whether he will come back to the squad or not. I believe they did offer him arbitration or the qualifying offer. The Astros are fifth, Reds sixth, Angels, Twins, Pirates, Cardinals, Rays, Blue Jays, Nationals, Athletics, Mets, who missed the postseason, Guardians, Tigers, Braves. The teams on the right-hand side, they all made the postseason. So let's see how things shake up, as the Phillies are the defending World Series champions, and we can't trade draft picks, so there's nothing that they can do about their own spot. And in the draft lottery, the White Sox will end up with the number 1 pick. The Rockies will stick at 2. Marlins at 3. The Angels move up 3 spots from 7 to 4, picking 4th. Padres, Astros, and Reds all move down 1, and there's really not much else to speak of. Another day. Is somebody going to sign with us? I bet Rosario wants to sign. Bro, sign the damn contract, or did I not do something properly? Oh, I got to offer him the contract. Oh, snap. I feel stupid. Let's give this man this money. Come on. This is an easy deal. You get to play on a team. Oh, I forgot I gotta hold this. You get to play. I don't care about the CBT. Stop telling me about the competitive balance tax. I don't care. All right, contract is sent. I forgot I had to actually send out the contract. So Brendan Rodgers will sit there. Maybe Rosario signs elsewhere. There's no rumor of him going anywhere else. And the Rule 5 draft is coming up soon. Did anybody else sign? The Marlins seem to have acquired Lane Thomas. That could be a pretty solid move. I think he's only 30 though. So he's not a long-term solution for Miami's offensive woes. But he might help a little bit. Jorge Mateo is heading to the Dodgers, 2 years, $16.23 million. That's really not a bad move. I mean, he's a fielder. He can run. As the Dodgers get older, they're going to need guys who can be positional versatile, and he is one of those types of dudes. The Angels signed Trent Grisham on a contract that I just don't understand. Maybe it's just me. 3 years, $29.29 million. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa signs with the Guardians, 1 year, $11.35 million. Yo, what? That man getting paid a lot more than anybody probably thinks he's worth. Victor Caratini signs with the Rays on a 1-year deal. I did think about signing him as a backup catcher, but I think I actually know who our backup catcher should be, should he play well in spring training. Garrett Hampson signs with the Mariners, a 1-year, $9.44 million deal. Is JP Crawford on the move? Josh Bell signs with the Reds, 1 year, $6.89 million. I hope he's not starting over Christian Encarnacion Strand. The Tigers signed former Yankee Gary Sanchez, 1 year, $9.04 million. How is he continuing to get this kind of money? That's nuts, in my opinion. I get he's a power hitting catcher, DH. Maybe that's worth something more than I think. Rule 5 draft. Let's see what pops up. And 2 players are selected all the way down. Let's see how things played out. Joel Bozo is going to be drafted by the White Sox. He's a catcher, plays first and left field. Hasn't played the majors in what is now going to be 5 years. 2021. Not a bad move. George Valera going from Cleveland's organization to the Rockies. Not a bad looking player. I mean, the Rockies are going to try to, piece together a team as best they can. A couple teams skip, and Esteury Ruiz is going to be drafted by the Twins. I don't exactly remember what their outfield situation looks like, but he's fast, and if he can hit, you can see he hits lefties. If he can get that righty contact up, he's a starter. Braden Valenzuela is going to Toronto. He was in the Colorado Rockies system, switch hitter, can play first also. Not terrible speed given his 54, and again, he is a catcher, not a horrible guy to kick the can on as far as catcher spot is concerned. Rodolfo Castro going from the Iron Pigs of the Phillies to the Athletics. Not too shabby. He's got B potential, so he may actually hit that if he plays at the major league level. Hasn't played there in now going to be 3 years. Daniel Susac going to, wow, the Cleveland Guardians. That's not a bad move. I guess they're looking for a backup as far as Bo Naylor is concerned. Again, not a bad move at all. I'm going to look at this Rule 5 draft, but I don't know if we're really going to come out with anything. This is not going to blow anybody away. I mean, the Rule 5 draft never is, but I think Mason Fluharty is going to be the lone Rule 5 draft pick. And I have a good reason. Tyler Matzik is our top left-handed reliever, and I don't know if he'll make the roster. You never know. Also, Fernando Cruz is there, and he's turning 35 also, so I kind of want a bit of a buffer. Fluharty will be there in spring training, and I guess if we have to, we'll send him back to Toronto's minor league team. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what team this is. Athletics select pitcher Ryan Murphy. Not too bad, and that's going from San Francisco's minor league team to the A's, just up the road or highway. I forget which one it is. As far as Rule 5 draft picks, I have nothing else I want to pick. Ahmed Rosario is making a decision, and he's coming to NY. So he will most likely be our starting second baseman, and then Chisholm will move to third. Cabrera will play a role somewhere at either of those two bases and somewhere in the outfield if we need it and somebody needs a day off. Yo, the Mets are wilding with starters. Dylan Cease, 5 years, $143.2 million. Oh my goodness, they got King and Cease to go with. Yeah, this is nuts. Michael King, Dylan Cease, Kodai Senga, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea. Christian Scott got a cup of coffee in the majors so far. He's most likely on the move. Tyler Megill and Frankie Montas. Why the hell would you be spending on like 7 or 8 pitchers? This is nuts. Montas is making 17 mil. Megill is arbitration. Scott is on renewal. Manaea is making 50 mil the next 2 years. Clay Holmes is making like 25 million. Senga is making 30 million. Cease is getting paid, and so is King, also getting paid. Yeah, the Mets are trading one of these pitchers, let's be real. Following another disaster of a season and now off-season, losing both of their top pitchers to the exact same team. Wow, this is nuts. Frankie Montas is on the move to the Padres in what you could essentially almost call a trade. 3 players for 4 players, as Connor Joe and Yuki Matsui are going to New York. Frankie Montas is coming to San Diego, as they don't really have pitchers like that, and this is probably the fairest move I could really make. Would the Mets really be concerned about paying Frankie Montas $17 million to sit in the minors? Heck no. This deal's going through. After signing Rosario, we finally get the opportunity to take Brendan Rodgers off the board. I don't need him to be there. I'm not going to be particularly greedy as far as just signing another guy. We've got Cabrera. He can swing and play a lot of the same positions. We got Joe Adell, who's a backup outfielder in himself. I didn't expect to see Stuart Baroa on the free agent list. Now, granted, he's not a top 150 guy, but he's 26 and he looks like he's worked on his left-handed hitting, and he is a great defender as far as fielding and reactions concerned and can run. I'll sign him. It's more likely for a minor league deal, or he'll break camp with the 40-man roster, and then we'll see how things play out in spring training. Do y'all want to make this mistake again? Nick Madrigal was injured for all of the 2025 season, like he is in real life. The Mets released him, and honestly, I've been waiting for him to come to free agency, whether it would have happened or not. 99 vision. Do I really need to say much else? I'm going to sign him to a low tier deal. It's like 1 year, $2.2 million. Hopefully he takes it. He'll more than likely be in the minors, if anything. He does have second and third base positional versatility. And he's a righty batter, as we are pretty lefty and switch hitter heavy on the roster. Okay, Gleyber Torres just signed with the Dodgers. It's a little confusing to me. The Diamondbacks have signed Marcell Ozuna to the Desert. Andy Ibanez, 4 years, 15.35 million. The Brewers signed Zach McKinstry, 3 years, 14.75 million. The Tigers signed Willie Castro. That's a good move. 3 years, 36.13 million. Dodgers signed Gleyber Torres for 7 years, 102.7. Yo, y'all just got money to really throw around. I thought that was a joke, but nah, y'all are for real. 7 years? Isn't he 30? I mean, he's more MLB ready in terms of overall than Hae-Sung Kim, who did not hit well last year, coming over from the KBO. You know what? I ain't even mad at this deal. He doesn't have an arm, but he's at second base, so arm is really not all that big of a deal. Though y'all signed Jorge Mateo, again, not for much money. I guess he's their Ozzy Cabrera, where he can play different positions if they need to. Chris Taylor's still there, and he's getting old. You know what? I'm not mad at this deal, not one bit. Santiago Espinal is looking to join the New York Yankees, 2 years, $5.8 million. Again, not a bad move. I also haven't changed my positions of interest at this point. Good player, 31 years old, does have more positional versatility than Nick Madrigal, can also play short. He hit, you know what, he hit well, 274, didn't hit for much of any power, only 18 extra base hits in 318 games. I don't know if he got hurt or not, as they don't keep track of players' injury history. He'd probably sit in minor leagues, clogging up a spot for somebody at that point. I'm just going to not be interested. It's okay. Let's get Madrigal here in pinstripes and see if he takes our deal. We are into the new year, and Nick Madrigal has made a contract decision, and he is going to be a New York Yankee. More than likely a AAA, but we shall see. There are some top reliever arms that are still out there. Devin Williams, Matt Strahm, Raisel Iglesias, Kyle Schwarber, who I consider the previous season's World Series MVP, is still sitting out there. Not understanding why. Matt Strahm is going to the Phillies. Actually, he might be back with the Phillies, if I remember correctly. 2 years, $19.1 million. Had 21 holds to 5 saves. He might not be the closer in this situation, but I'm not sure the Phillies really need a closer. But he's versatile enough to have done it at one point. Jack Sawinski re-signs with the Rays, avoiding arbitration, 3 years, $10.92 million. I did see him out in free agency, and I was thinking about maybe we should snatch him up. Decided not to. The Pirates signed what I think is their first multi-year contract in like 3 or 4 or 5 seasons. Santiago Espinal, 3 years, $14.05 million. MJ Melendez going to the Mets. Damn, that is actually a good move. He hits for power, and they could kind of use some bench power if he's out there like that. Who keeps signing Nick Martinez to this kind of money? This is crazy. 2 years, $35.37 million. Maybe he's better than I'm leading on. Elias Diaz goes to the Rays, 2 years, $12.42 million. Paul Sewald, 2 years, $12.15. Chad Green signs with the Dodgers, 2 years, Harrison Bader. What the hell? Who decided to pay him this money? 4 years, $44.15 million. Ain't no way in hell they paying him that much. That's wild. Chris Paddock, 3 years, $44.11 million. Mike Soroka, isn't he like 32? Rockies, I guess they want a veteran presence for their number 1 pick. Fine, they got plenty of those guys. None of them are really that great, but maybe they're better teachers than they are players. 3 years, $30.69 million. Raisel Iglesias going to the Cubs on a $10 million deal. Why I keep wanting to call it 10 years? Paul DeYoung, 3 years, $17.67 million. Hunter Renfroe to the Blue Jays. Actually, I can understand this deal's behind my head. 3 years, $28.06 million. George Springer's in the last year of his deal and does have a no trade clause, so they kind of want to make sure that they have a replacement should he get hurt or something. Devin Williams is going to the Kansas City Royals, the defending AL Central champions, on a 3-year, $39.2 million deal. Hopefully he doesn't blow too many games for them like he did for us. But that was his first real full year being a closer. Michael Lorenzen is going to the Giants. Okay, I don't know if they really needed another starter, but Kyle Isbell goes to the Tigers, 4 years, $18.07. Do y'all have enough roster spots, major league roster spots for all of this? That seems a little much. Michael Conforto going to the Phillies, 3 years, $25.90 million. I guess that means Kyle Schwarber's not coming back, but he hasn't signed with anybody. Last I checked, Mickey Moniak going to another outfielder for the Tigers. What are y'all doing? 4 years. I mean, none of this is crazy money. $20.66 million. Jordan Romano going to the Brewers. 2 years, $13.21 million. John free agent pool looks as such. Top guys. Kyle Schwarber is still out there. Come on. How is nobody signing that type of power bat? That's nuts. The Diamondbacks signed Kyle Schwarber. Oh boy. Is he going to be their DH? That's bananas, but what did they give him in terms of money? Kevin Newman signs with the Twins despite his interest from us. The Angels signed John Means, $13.98 million. Zach Littell, 3 years, $43.5 million. And Diamondbacks, $48.54 million. That doesn't sound like much. In case you ever wanted to understand what is wrong with the game as far as free agency is concerned, Kyle Schwarber signs for $16.2 million for 3 years. Not a bad deal in terms of length. Lourdes Gurriel is being paid $30 million over the next 2 seasons. Marcell Ozuna, a 1 year, $15 million. What the hell? Y'all have signed these dudes for mad money. Plus, you have Jake McCarthy. Well, he's on an arbitration deal, so I guess they figured we can spend now and not worry about it later. Corbin Carroll already got his contract, so it's not too crazy. Is this lineup going to be, I don't know if I like this, but not my money. I'm guessing he will be the DH because he is not an outfielder by any means. As where's the DH spot? Okay, he'll be the DH. I'm not really concerned, but you're paying these guys a lot of money to be backups. Like, Osuna has no other positional versatility except left. Jonah Bride is about the only swing guy. Adrian Del Castillo can play outfield, but he's a catcher. Let's be real. Kyle Schwarber can't play catcher anymore. Why would y'all do this to yourselves? Y'all have basically log-jammed yourselves into, either somebody gets hurt and one of these outfielders replace him. Osuna is terrible. Schwarber might be worse, though with a slightly stronger arm. All right, Gurriel's pretty good. Oh, man, it's like y'all want to logjam yourselves with a bunch of DHs that y'all can't do anything with. Did y'all not learn from us by getting Giancarlo Stanton? Probably not. Joey Gallo gets yet another chance in Major League Baseball. Signs a 1 year deal with the Tigers. How? And not even as a pitcher, as he's claimed he's going to be transitioning himself into. Time to start to wrap up the offseason as we take a look at some of the arbitration deals that our guys are going to be getting. Clark Schmidt going to be getting $3.6 million. I don't remember what I offered any of these guys. I'm sure there'll be a timestamp. Jump back to that and you'll see. And we can offer contracts. We do need to start filling out some of the minor league portion of our roster, but let's see what's going down. Mark Leiter does get his a little over $2 million for the 26th season following an all-star appearance. Anthony Volpe getting $800,000. He's starting to get better, but I'm not quite yet ready to extend him long term. Gavin Lux is interested. Or not. I'm not even going to bother. To fill out the minor leagues and to test my ability to read, we're going to sign Russ Zibazinski, F potential. He's 19 years old. He'll be an A-ball. Maybe he gets better, maybe he doesn't, but we kind of need the depth in case some minor league players get hurt. Fernando Cruz is going to be getting $1.666 thousand next year. $1,666,000. Let me act like I actually did math for a while. Pretty solid money to come back. He might break camp in the bullpen. He might be down at AAA. It kind of depends. Ian Hamilton going to be getting $2.416 million. Joe Adell, $5.423 million. All right, here's our projected lineups, both righties and versus lefties. Again, this all can change because spring training could throw us a nice wrench or bust our tires because, if we're on the road back to the playoffs and the World Series, injuries are going to become a factor after losing Aaron Judge last year in August. Ahmed Rosario should be leading off. Aaron Judge, Jason Dominguez, Jazz Chisholm, Giancarlo Stanton, Cody Bellinger, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, and Ben Rice versus righties. Versus lefties, Bellinger will lead off, then Judge, Stanton, Dominguez, Chisholm, Ahmed Rosario, Volpe, Rice, and Wells at the bottom of the lineup. As far as backups are concerned, take all of this with a grain of salt. Some of this could definitely change. Joe Adell definitely going to be on the roster, unless he gets hurt. Oswaldo Cabrera definitely going to be on the roster. DJ LeMahieu, we don't really have much of a choice, but if he starts to stink up the joint, he's in the last year of his contract, we can just waive him. Stuart Baroa is an option who I didn't realize also can play second base and has some speed. As a switch hitter, Nick Madrigal will have a shot in camp, and so will John Singleton. I feel like I'm going to need to call up some more players, particularly catchers, but I haven't even simmed all the way to the start of spring training. So tell me what y'all thought of the offseason. I'm not even going to apologize for this being a long-ass video. I like to be very thorough about things, and considering I'm in 30-team control, I had to show every single move across the league. If you think they were fair, let me know. If you think I done fucked up somebody's future, let me know. I don't think I made too many moves that would be too screwy, but let me know down in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I will see you guys opening day and let you guys know how spring training played out.